Round one.
So first 8-rounder for Shannon Ryan in the black trunks. Martina Bernile, as I mentioned, the Italian and European champion in the weight division below. She's very competent, far better than anybody that Ryan has faced so far. And well, we just saw Muhammad Ali cruise through a 4-round victory, and Ryan really has been in a similar situation where she's just not dropped around so far, has looked so comfortable and easy, and at some point you have to step her up. And there isn't a great size differential between them, of course, only 3 pounds in the weight divisions. And Ryan is short and compact for the weight, but she's explosive, good feet, and she's going to need them against an opponent like Bernile.
Yeah, she is, because someone who comes right at you, you need fast hands and fast feet. That's the perfect antidote for that, to get out the distance. But it's how you use those attributes. That's going to set you apart. Having fast feet, but going back in straight lines, it's going to put you in trouble. So you want to be taking a step back, then a step to the left or a step to the right, and changing the angles and forcing the more aggressive opponent to turn onto you, which squares him up onto your punches. And when you have fast hands, you can do that. Take a step back, step to the side, let those fast combinations go, and then just keep turning, spinning your opponent, staying nice and safe, and always landing.
Of course, round management will be interesting to see too, going straight from 4 to 8 here. Of course, only 2-minute rounds, but at the same time, it is a different pace of action. Bernile has done it once before. She's done the 10 rounds before. And already she's just trying to inch her way forward, command the centre of the ring, and make Shannon Ryan work perhaps a little bit harder and be a little bit busier than she would like to at this stage. It's nice, just right hand sneaks through down the middle.
You shouldn't neglect the jab here, Ryan. Working good with the combinations, then the right hand go, the left hook's working for her, but just concentrate on that jab.
Well, and already a tougher round than she's probably had at any point of her career so far.
Without a shadow of a doubt, and she would have learnt bundles there. Bernile trying to get all of her experience into this fight. She's trying to nullify the work of Ryan by closing the gap, getting in front of her, but there's been some nice shots on the back foot from Ryan, just missing with the right hand there, but catching a right hand from Bernile. And one of the reasons why she walked onto that was near the end of the round, that was she's predominantly moving to her left, Ryan, so she is walking onto her right hand. So I'd like to see a bit more variation with the movement.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Instructions from Siobhan Archibald in her corner, Shannon Ryan.
Seconds out. Round 2.
She'll know she's in a fight here already as we head into the second round of 8. Welcome to those of you just joining us at Wembley. Chris Lloyd alongside Darren Barker and Barry Jones. Ready for a big night of action in the capital. Sonny Edwards making the 4th defence of his IBF title against Andres Campos, ahead of what we believe are going to be some big unifications with the likes of Bam Rodriguez, Julio Cesar Martinez, potentially Artem Dalakian as well. But right now, Shannon Ryan has been under some early pressure from Martina Bernile. She's worked the body well in between Bernile's combinations and pressure, just trying to establish a little bit of distance and space for herself to work here. Lovely left hook.
There's been pressure from Bernile, but I don't think there's anything that's put Ryan in any sort of panic. That's a nice jab there from Ryan. The heavier shots are coming from Ryan for sure, and I think she's timing them quite well. But I do think, she just steps with that jab a little bit, uses the jab a little bit more, maybe doubles it up. That just pushes the opponent back a little bit more, then just quells the fire a bit, and then gives you more space to land that heavier right hand. It's a good jab.
Yeah, just pinning the guard with the right hand before she threw that jab as well. And again, just off the reverse 1-2 there, working that left hook to the body as she's landed throughout these first couple of rounds. Oof, when the left hook off the break there. If that happens again, I think she may get a warning, but Bernile straight back on the front foot, just trying to chip away at the body of Ryan, rolls under that.
Nice.
Back to centre ring she goes.
Really clever work there from Ryan. Good left hook, right hand, and a roll again there. Need to come back with that right hand there, though. She made the movement, made the space for it.
be interesting to see the toll that the bodywork from Ryan takes on Bernile as the rounds go on. As she said, she looks and appears the heavier-handed of the pair from our ringside position. But of course, we don't know what her engine's like as well. So she's been forced to work at a high pace here. Just a little bit of reddening under the nose. But a good fight so far.
It is a good fight. That was a good round for Ryan. I mean, she took a couple of shots, nothing to worry about. But I like the variation with the shots, the variation with the right hand, the little screw shot through there. She got her jab into play a bit more, as Barry was calling for. So, look, it was a good round for Ryan. That, again, she's learning an awful lot against an experienced opponent in Bernile.
We're headed to New Orleans next week. I'll be on the plane, hosting the Before the Bell segment there. Regis Prograis making a defence of his WBC title at £140 against Danielito Zorrilla. Lots to talk about who his next opponent will be if he gets through this Saturday.
Corners,
Rumours of Devin
10
Haney
seconds.
coming up to challenge him. That'd be a great fight, wouldn't it? Good to see Prograis back in one of the top spots
Seconds
after
out.
a little bit of time out in the wilderness.
Three.
And of course, Josh Taylor this weekend as well against Teofimo Lopez. Could be all change at the top of the division in the next couple of weeks. But away we go into the third round as Martina Bernile comes out the traps here, really trying to put Shannon Ryan under some pressure, and she wants to meet her and trade at centre ring.
You've got to give Bernile credit. You know, she hasn't stopped throwing punches, and she's really aggressive, and she's trying to do the right things. But I don't feel that the pressure's been effective enough to put Ryan under pressure yet. You know, making Ryan work harder than what she's used to, maybe. But again, I still don't think she's really having the bust of gut to stay in there. I think she's still staying nice and relaxed. I don't think she's picking her shots really well. And for me, I think, you know, the way it's going at the minute, I think it'll be Bernile who starts to struggle down the stretch, if anybody.
Yeah, and it'll be impressive if Ryan does start to really take control of the contest, because, of course, Bernile is a European champion, a good fighter, and this is the whole point of bringing her in, to just ask a few more questions of Ryan and make sure she isn't just shutting opponents out without having to think and without being made to work. And she's been made to work a little bit here. Just touches the nose.
I think Ryan can punch. You know, you see the shoulders. She got the
Solid.
muscles for it. Yeah, she's got the mechanics for, to punch. But you got to tap. And I think she needs to be one of those. It's a good right hand there, and again.
Yeah, lovely. Just followed it up with the second and just put Bernile back onto her heels, and now she just goes tight guard, just riding those shots around the elbows, and just comes back with a couple of her own.
Yeah, I think she just needs to change the tempo and then throw a heavy shot. She's starting to steal the space a bit there. Right?
I just was going to say, just for the first time, Bernile just deliberately took a couple of steps back as if she just needed a moment to breathe. Another little left sneaks under the elbow and just follows it up with a good finish to the round.
Yeah, I've been impressed. I like the work from Shannon Ryan, I really do. Look, the variation's been brilliant, the footwork's been great. Head, body, the right hand on point there. Bernile just taking this thing out of the shot, bringing her feet in after. There's that aggression. And like you say, Barry, she does look like she's got the sort of setup to throw big, heavy shots. And look, I think a compliment that I can give her is already after 3 rounds, she's levels above this level. And she's in there with a female who's just won the European title. I think that she can go beyond this.
Yeah, and interesting that, Barry, just watching that double right hand, the way she covered the ground after the first counter, the explosion and the athleticism, and that's what we've seen in the previous fights.
Corners,
but it's a rare
10
ability
seconds.
to be able to cover ground at that kind of speed.
It is, but it's about your stance. She stays nice and low. She's got a wide stance, but it's not
Seconds out.
over wide where
Round
she got
four.
to take it too much of a big step with the front foot and drag the back foot back. She can slide into the distance quite effectively. But it's that I'm saying about the power. I think it's there. The body mechanics are there. She throws the right shots. But I do think she just needs a little bit of variation to set it up. But it's been a good display from her. I think she's been dominant. She hasn't panicked under the storm, because the weight of the shots haven't been enough to really make her worry about what's coming away. She's tucked them nice and tight, and she's fired back with the heavier punches.
Yeah, and I mentioned about the importance of not giving Bernile that momentum that she likes to gather early, and she hasn't done so. She's not been belligerent and just held her feet unnecessarily, but she's just started to push her back a little bit, win those exchanges, and stepping around her to keep her balance offset.
Well, she answered the back, didn't she? Every time Bernile threw a combination, which she's aggressive, she answered the back with the heavier shots and made her think before once you make your opponent think before they want to throw, it slows them down. Once they slow down, they start to panic. They tense up. When they tense up, they tire. Then you can go to work.
Yeah, you can just see that momentum shift occurring slowly before our eyes as Ryan now starting to hold her feet, growing in confidence. Nice left hook off that combination again. Bernile just being pushed back a little bit here, and she's battling harder than she has done in previous rounds for centre ring. She holds on, doesn't want to take that backward step, but get the sense that Ryan is going to force her to, because she's starting to look very comfortable here now.
It's nice from Ryan. Tried to move her feet, just didn't commit with the spin of that right foot around the target. She was like a bigger step with the right foot. She was right on the outside there to let that left hook go.
Yeah. She's just freeing up a nice bit of space, using her hands on the inside there to find some room for the uppercuts and those little short hooks to the body as well. Bernile just fires a 1-2 down the middle, comes off the gloves of Ryan. Another 10-second clapper goes. These rounds fly by.
Rock body shot.
Boxing really well up close here, Shannon Ryan, and not allowing herself to be bullied. And Martina Bernile starting to get really marked up under the eyes.
Yeah, you see under that right eye, the swelling already. And look, I'm getting the feeling, the sense of a fighter in there who's really enjoying herself in Shannon Ryan. And she's going through the gears. She's showing us a bit of everything. I like that, changing the levels with the shots. The jab upstairs, the right hand to the body. Always keeping Bernile thinking where the shot's coming from. And yeah, she's supremely confident. You see her there, nice and relaxed, listening to the coach in the corner, taking everything on board. And yeah, she's got a very good future in front of her.
Yeah, Javon Archibald will be very happy with what he's seen so far. A big part of these kind of learning experience, Barry, is having problems early, watching prospects stay calm and work their way through the problems, and she has done that.
Yeah, she has. Nothing's plain sailing in your career. At some point, you're going to come up against a hurdle, and you'd like to see that early. You don't want a big enough hurdle that you're going to fall off.
Seconds out.
You want the little steps to see how they cope with it. And I think there she's, Benile's more experienced, although I think naturally smaller, but aggressive, comes at you and can overwhelm you if you allow it. But I think, Ryan has stayed composed. She's covered up and fired back, and now she's starting to be the more dominant in the middle of the ring. And I think she can push Bernile back. She hasn't at times, but I think it's there for her. She wants to do it.
Yeah, she's used the momentum against her well, though, hasn't she? Just walked her onto a few shots, baits her foot, a stiff jab, kind of pinning the guard with that right hand. And as you mentioned, just making some really good space up the middle for the uppercut as well when they're in close.
And Bernile knows that now as well. She can see. And she's just waiting for Bernile to come forward, make a mistake, overreach, and then leave a gap for that right-hand left hook. You've got to give Bernile a credit. She's tough. She knows she's going to walk onto a shot, but she's committing to it anyway.
Yeah, she is, and she's being slowly beaten up here, but she continues to press forwards, trying to let her hands go up close. But every time she lands maybe one, she's getting three in reply, and they're better quality shots at that as well. And there's a weathered look on her face, a stiff jab through the middle again.
But I got to say, that was going to be my only criticism. She hadn't used that jab enough, I don't feel. Because she got a good right hand and a snappy left hook. She's trying to walk you onto the shots, and they're the prettier looking work. But that jab's such a great weapon.
Yeah, timing it well, isn't she? Just knows when Bernile wants to step in. She pulls the trigger.
Oh, good shot. Lovely uppercut there from Ryan.
Well, so far, so good. Doesn't look like she's blowing at all, and it's been fought at a high pace through these 5 rounds. It's the furthest she's gone in her career so far. She just steps off around and makes some space for that lovely 1-2, and the left hook behind it. Bernile responds well, and again continues to try and press forwards. Nice counter from Ryan there.
I would say, though, Chris, Bernile has fought at a high pace. Ryan has still taken quite level paced, I feel.
You know what? I think that the shot for me, bar the jab's been brilliant. I think the left to the body has been a lovely shot. She times it so well. She finishes combinations with that left to the body. It's a beautiful shot.
Well, up next is Georges Lidard in his 3rd contest as a young professional, weighed in at 162 pounds. Yesterday, he's in a 6-rounder against Nicholas Zernak from Vyškov in the Czech Republic. Kev Mitchell there, just going through the final preparations with him. Mark Seltzer, just the blurred figure in the background there. Renault did all of
Corners,
your
10
corners in
seconds.
cuts over the years, didn't he?
He did, yeah, and I think him and Kev are still recovering from their trip to Prague to watch
Seconds
West
out.
Ham
Round
win
6.
their first, what is it, their second European title, I think. Not the main one, not the one that Chelsea's won, Barry.
You can tell he's a Chelsea fan. Second one, I think. Who knows?
Who knows? He knows, yeah. So into round number 6 we go. Bernile just lands an arcing right hand over the low left hand of Shannon Ryan. She's been good so far, though.
That's a lovely jab there. It's such a great shot, though. It just stops Bernile in a track.
I have to say as well, Barry, she just settled her feet down a little bit in this fight too. She was very, very quick in and out. She's still got that speed of foot, but as the rounds go on, have to settle those down to be a little bit more economical. She's done that, and she's kept turning Bernile, not allowed her to gain forward momentum, but she's also not allowed herself to be bullied in the process as well. And Bernile's tried everything she can to do so.
You can see why Bernile wins fights, because she's just relentless. You know, and if you're not physically strong, or if you haven't got the composure that Ryan has, that's a lovely left hook to the body, then she can overwhelm you. You can see that. But Ryan's too physically strong for her, and technically a lot better as well, you feel.
Yeah, and you can see the power shots with the way that she's marking after she just stepped off a jab to the body there, changing the angles well. And now looking like she's in full control, no matter how much Bernile presses her. Look for the counter right hand that time. Covers up, almost goes cross guard for a moment, just turns the chin with the right hand. Bernile, tough woman, really marked up around the eyes and the top of the head. But still she comes forwards.
Well, I did say after, what was it, third round or something, that, you know, it might be Bernile who starts to struggle for pace, and she hasn't, to be fair, but I think it's still the point that Ryan hasn't struggled, because she stayed so composed, she hasn't panicked. And if anything, I think she's got stronger and better as the rounds have got on.
Yeah, the composure and the discipline too, Darren, to maintain your shape. When you're under a lot of consistent fire, you've got to keep an active defence, keep blocking shots, keep riding things. She's done that throughout, Shannon Ryan. That was the left hook that landed just over the right hand.
I tell you what, I'm really impressed here. Look, you've got to remember who's in front of Shannon Ryan. Look, she's yes, granted the weight below, she's a very aggressive fighter, and she's a European champion. She has bundles of experience, you know, as far as rounds are concerned. Look, the variation of shots there, fantastic stuff. The composure, that, you know, she has neglected the jab, and I say neglects because when she does throw it, it's such a hurtful and effective weapon. I've been really, really impressed.
Yeah, hand position's been good defensively. Barry, head movement's been good after she's punched as well.
Yeah, well she's allowed, because I don't think the power of Bernile enough to worry her. So she's been happy to block, you know, use the forearms to block and block, and then counter off that. So she's been comfortable in the fire. She's been encouraging and wanting the aggression, because she's working off it. But I think we'll use, as Darren's saying, using that jab, I think she can change the whole dynamic of the fight and push her back. I think she can get the stoppage if she uses the jab a little bit more. But apart from that, it's been a fantastic performance so far.
Well, there's just a little microcosm of the skills you've just seen, just exiting off the jab, rolling under the hooks, blocking 2 or 3 shots. Looking in the flow now. Ryan Bernile marked up, pressing forward, but you can see she's working hard. She just picks a long raking right hand to the body again, then a right hand upstairs that time. Really starting to get in the groove now.
I honestly, that's good work.
This is superb stuff.
And straight away there, she got low, didn't she? She engaged those legs, she got a wider stance. Looking to throw those heavier shots. I tell you what's been really good for Ryan, that left hook to the body.
Yeah, landed it plenty early, didn't she?
Yeah, I agree with you, Barry. Brilliant shot. I've got to say, though, I've just got to jump in. She will take some beating. You know, I don't want to get too carried away, but there is so much to like about Shannon Ryan. I mean, she's got every single shot in her artillery. She's confident. Her defence is very good. She can fight on the back foot. She can fight in the pocket. And you can see she enjoys being in the ring, showing off and impressing the fans. Really,
artillery. You can't say Arsenal, can you? Because you're a Chelsea fan.
No, I can't.
And you're also not supposed to be speaking in between rounds, Darren, so can you put your microphone down, please?
But look at Bernile, you got to get. No, she just hasn't stopped trying to come forward. No, a will to win's tremendous, but she hasn't got the physical strength or power or really technique really to real trouble Ryan, who's just been a revelation tonight, I feel.
Yeah, she has, but what a brilliant test that Bernile has been for her. Kept her working, kept her thinking. Just the first signs of a little bit of fatigue creeping in for Ryan in those last 20 seconds or so. He took a deep breath, but my word, I mean, almost faultless through these first 7 rounds after just having to work through that early pressure and momentum in the first couple of rounds. She's passing this test with flying colours.
I mean, look, it's just more of the same. And look, she liked that right hand. She sort of gave the eyes to the body. She got a reaction from Bernile. The hands dropped, and she just fired over with that right hand. Beautiful shot. And it's the exit after. We're always talking about this, Barry, all the time. Whether it's your feet or your head, it's about missing the shot that comes back. And that was a perfect example of what to do once you've thrown a shot.
The Kelly Corso, as you may have heard this week, rescheduled
Corners, 10
for
seconds.
Saturday, July 15th, be live on DAZN.
Seconds out. 8th and final round.
Are you working that fight, Barry?
I am, yeah. I said I clean everyone's car, and they got me in.
I'll see you up there, mate.
Are you cleaning the cars as well?
I'm cleaning the cars, yeah.
Darren's hoovering the inside. It's good you're both in work, that's the main thing. But here we go to round number 8, and another whipping right hand round the side. Shannon Ryan just drops under the return fire from Bernile, making her miss freely, just feints with the feet there, drawing the reaction out of her. In full control now just going through the full repertoire, pushing her back onto her heels. And, well, Bernile knows she's in with a very, very good quality level operator who's showing absolutely no signs of her inexperience so far at all.
The next step for Ryan for me is she dips in those legs, is working when you're engaged low, working off that. So she dips legs. She doesn't always throw off it though. I think because she's got such big legs there, powerful legs there, she can work off to get more power in her shots. And when she feels aggressive, she gets in the right position, but then stands up and throws the punches. So it's just working off that, throwing the punches up in an upward angle. When she gets that buzz, when she starts feeling that she's got the opponent hurt.
Again, just sinking that left hook into the body, landed a couple of really solid left hands under the elbow in this round.
Oh, good shot.
Started to really put an arc on that right hand and had success when she's done so. And again, as they clinch, Bernile doesn't want to be pushed back. She is full of pride. She piles forward again behind the 1-2 uppercut through the middle. Ryan has just had the heavy artillery, had everything in the book to have an answer for every question that Bernile has posed, and she's just been a cut above throughout the fight, but still Bernile, brave, stands and trades with her, marked up, bleeding from the nose and the mouth. Mouse is under both eyes, and Ryan continues to punch away. Brilliant finish to a superb 8 rounds here. The young prospect Shannon Ryan, and Bernile, bloodied, bruised and battered, acknowledges her. Well, we knew that this was a different class of opponent. I don't think we knew how competently she was going to deal with her.
No, you sort of felt, someone coming right at Shannon Ryan might help because she got fast hands and fast feet, but I thought she'd have to use those feet a little bit more. But she never, let's be honest, she stayed in the centre of the ring, felt physically confident enough to hold the shots, to ride them, to block them, and fire off them. She believed in her hand speed and her power, but also her timing and her judgment of the distance was fantastic tonight.
And her exits as well, Darren, just in the right hand land there, and the way she slides off of it, pivots out and creates space for herself. Seems to really be enjoying everything she's doing.
Exactly, that was one of the words we used. She did enjoy it throughout that contest. You can see every time she landed a big shot, you see the mouth, she was almost, screaming with excitement. It was a very, very good display. One I was impressed with, and she's shown that she's levels above European, and that's very, very exciting.
Okay, referee has the fighters at centering. David Diamante has the scorecards. Let's head over to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of action here in London, England, we go to referee Marcus McDonald's scorecard. It reads 80-72 for your winner. She's still undefeated.